When you've played Conan for as long as I have, you notice some little things. They're mainly just quirks of how the game works, inconsistencies, or just some small Easter eggs. After over 2,000 hours, I've found a fair few, so today I'm going to look at 20 of the most useless facts about Conan Exiles. So, without further ado, let's get started. Fingerfang Rock, north of the unnamed city, is the tallest natural formation on the Exiled lands. In the June 19th, 2017 dev stream, one developer referred to it as a Fingerbang Rock, so take that as you will. Swagger Rock, located in the central savannah, is of course a reference to Pride Rock from The Lion King, complete with a resting lion atop said rock. The Passage, located in the northwestern jungle, was a road used by the Lemurians to reach the north. It has shipwrecks inside and the wood doesn't seem too damaged, which is weird considering this area was a paved road up to about 10,000 years prior to the events of the game. Certain important elements of the map, like the obelisks, some lore stones, and a low detail version of the volcano, remain rendered at all times, even when you're out of render distance of the terrain. In update version 3.0.2 there exists a staff in the admin menu named XX Chris's staff of It's Broken. It is indeed broken, many spells just don't work, but it does show the work in progress casting UI, which is interesting to see. Sticking with the admin panel, the first spawnable NPC is named 1_none and is an archer with the name of Do Not Use, presumably a relic of the early development on NPCs. There are some arrows in game named Fire Spark arrows. They only stack to a maximum of 81. This item, and of course the stack size, is a reference to the YouTube content creator Firespark81. Heading outside the northern bounds of the map and looking back at the volcano, the rear side is actually hanging over the void, unsupported by the ground below. Warmaker Clail says that the Lemurians unleashed a weapon that turned the armies of the Giant Kings to stone. The site of this weapon deployment was the Shattered Springs, but upon examination, the corpses of the Giant King soldiers are trees rather than rock formations. Within Clail's stronghold, near the end of the dungeon, a Yeti lurks behind an ice wall with two loot chests. This area is inaccessible, and even if you do no clip inside, the Yeti is not combat enabled, and the chests are unlootable. There's a strange looking crack beneath the western side of the unnamed city that looks a lot like a cave entrance. As of update 3.0.2 this cavern has not been used and remains inaccessible. Back to the admin panel, if you spawn Conan and use Shift plus Delete to kill him, he does not have a death animation. This is also true for Valeria. These seem to be the only two human NPCs with no death animation. The Archivist seems to be the only accessible NPC in the game that cannot be killed by traditional or admin methods, including using Shift and Delete. Much like the Yeti in Clail's stronghold, he just seems to not be combat enabled in any way. Speaking of the Giant Kings, boss versions of the Warmaker and the Archivist do exist. They use the same model as the Barrow King and are, generally speaking, the same fight. It seems that at some point in development we may have had to fight all of them. You can spawn a dialogue-enabled vulture through the admin panel. It cannot be interacted with and thus cannot talk. Like Conan and Valeria, it also does not have a death animation. Several books exist in-game that are written by the Archivist. These books can be read to give a single-use buff. The titles of these books are all in reference to the works of Robert E. Howard. The Mastodont's Tower is the Tower of the Elephant, the Prince of the Black Shores is the Queen of the Black Coast, and so on. At the pens inside the volcano there is a 25% chance for the Emissary of Abath to spawn. This strange spawn is a child of Abath, an entity in the Lovecraft mythos that is the ultimate source of all miscreation and abomination. Unlike many other Lovecraftian deities within the game, Abath is not actually a creation of Lovecraft himself, but was added to the mythos by Clark Ashton Smith. Over in Flotsam, located at Buccaneer Bay, there is a merchant named Ignatius the Greedy. This seems to be a reference to Ignacy, one of the community managers for Conan Exiles and for Metal Hellsinger. There are also many other NPCs referencing current and former Funcom staff that worked on the game. Some long-term players might already know this one. Back in early 2019, Funcom ran a building contest to replicate structures from other games and in real life. The winners had their builds turned into paintings which you can use in the base game. Finally, there exists a legendary weapon named the Unintelligible, whose description text is absolute gibberish. Some have theorised this may be a coded message, but to date, nobody's cracked it. And there we have it, 20 absolutely useless facts about Conan Exiles. Thanks for watching. There are a lot of weird little quirks and Easter eggs in the game, along with just weird ways the game behaves in certain situations. As some will likely point out, there are a lot more that didn't make it into the video, so feel free to share your own useless facts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, all the links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Host Havoc affiliate page, NordVPN discount and NordPass discount are available in the description below. However, of course, you can simply just leave a like, a comment or subscribe. Any of those are very greatly appreciated. Patrons get a bunch of nice benefits, including sneak peeks of videos, your name in every video, custom made wallpapers in 1080p and 4K resolutions, full-size build blueprints, Discord roles and more. That being said, a massive thanks to all of our esteemed coffee cultists on screen now for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.